Today we're going to talk about another way to simplify algebraic expressions, and we'll be doing so by combining like terms. This picture is a good way of understanding what combining like terms is visually. Okay, when we combine like terms, we are putting together things that are the same. So if we take this example to see, we would combine all of the burgers, we would combine all of the fries, and we would combine all of the drinks. Okay, our picture would go from all of this to just all the burgers together, all the fries together, and all the drinks together. If we write that with letters, we could do B for burger, F for fry, and D for drink. So we're able to go from the original 2B plus F plus D plus 3B plus 2B plus 2D. And if we add those pieces that are alike together, we get 5B plus 3F plus 3D. Okay, notice in the expression, I couldn't combine the B and the F or the D together, okay, because they represent different things. So when we combine like terms, we're only putting together the variables that are the same. So B's go with other B's, F's go with other F's, etc. In this first example, we're going to simplify the expression by combining x plus 5x. Since both of these contain the variable x, I can add them together. And again, this has an x and this also has an x. When we have just a variable like we have here, there is really a 1 hidden in front of there. So when I combine, I have 1x plus 5x. So I'm adding together the coefficient 1 plus 5. And so I go from having two separate terms to one term in my answer. Now there's nothing else we can do with this 6x because at the moment we don't know what x equals, and we can't solve for what it equals because it's not an equation. We look at this next example, we now have 3 terms, and we are going to combine the ones that are alike. Also notice there is subtraction involved, so we do need to pay attention to the sign that is in front of the term. What I like to do to start is sort my pieces. Okay, and by that I mean I'm going to list out common terms. So I see I have an x term, and I also see here when I have minus 2, that's a constant term. Remember, our constants are numbers that don't have letters. So if I sort them into their 2 groups, I have 5x. Again, the minus 2 is a constant, so that goes over here. And then we have a minus 3x, so that would go in my x category. Okay, and that has a minus in front of it, so I'm going to be subtracting. Okay, so starting with the x column, I'm going to do 5x minus 3x, which would be 2x. Okay, when I look at my constant column, there's only one constant term, so I can't combine that with anything else. To get my final answer, I'm going to piece these back together, and so I have 2x, and the constant is minus 2. Now again, I can't combine these together because one has an x and the other does not. Okay, again, and now I have 4 terms, and when I'm counting the terms, that's how many pieces are in this original expression. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms is what I'm starting with, and I want to simplify that so I have less than 4 terms in my answer. Okay, again, I would suggest sorting out your information into their categories before you try adding or subtracting. Okay, so I have a y, I have a w, and and I have a constant term. So I'm going to list out all of my y's to start. Okay, so the only thing here that contains a y is this first one, so I'll rewrite that in my y column. The next one, I have a minus 2w. Right, so again, carry the sign that's in front. This is minus 2w. Then I have 16, which is a constant. It has no letter with it. And that's a plus, so I'll just add that this is plus 16 to remind myself. And then the last one is a w term, and that is a plus 8w. Okay. Now that they're sorted into their categories, I can combine by column. So starting with my y, I have no other y terms, so 7y will stay the same. Moving into my w column, I have two terms, which I'm going to combine together. Okay, I have a minus 2 and I have a plus 8. Okay, that 8 is bigger than the 2, so I rewrite this as 8w minus 2w. 8 minus 2 will give us 6w. And then my third column, the constant, 16 is the only constant term, so I'm leaving that alone. So once I've combined all of them, okay, so I now have one term in each column. I piece these back together into an expression as my final answer. Okay, so 7y stays 7y. That 6w is a plus 6w, and the constant is plus 16. Okay, so by combining like terms, I go from having 4 in my original expression to now only having 1, 2, 3 total terms in my answer. Okay, please be careful. I don't want to combine things that have different letters, so I am not going to add 7 plus 6 plus 16 because they all represent different parts of my expression. Right, this last example, I'm going to show you what it looks like when we smush two variables together. So to start my sorting, I already see I have an A term, I have a B term, and then I have this term that has two letters next to each other. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to put that under just A or just B. I need to put that under its own category of A, B. Okay, so now I'm going to work through this sorting part. Right, for A, let's see, I have 4A, that goes underneath the A column. Plus 2B, that goes in the B column. Plus 6AB, okay, so that is going to go under the AB column. Okay, I don't want to put it in the A or the B because it has to have both. My fourth term, I have plus 13A, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in the A column. And lastly, minus B, which is really minus 1B. So now that they're sorted, again, I'm going to combine each separate column. So for A, I have 4 plus 13 will give me 17A. For B, I have 2 minus 1, which will leave me with 1B. And the 6AB is the only one in that category, so that stays the same. And so I'm going to circle those pieces. I have 3 terms in my final answer because I had 3 columns. And I just need to rewrite those all together. So 17A. Okay, this is a plus 1B and plus 6AB. Okay, and again, we can see that I've combined like terms and simplified my expression because I went from 5 terms to start to 3 terms in my answer. As you continue working today, again, the number one mistake you will probably see yourself making is combining all of the numbers. Okay, when you are combining like terms, make sure you're looking for terms that contain the exact same variables.